Hi YouTube, how you going? Just put a video up on what I thought were the 3 most easiest obstacles at the world's toughest Muddr, and naturally thought it would be interesting to put up a video on what I thought were the 3 hardest obstacles at the event. So I've kind of broken this into a couple of segments. There's some obstacles that were physically hard to complete. There were other obstacles that I guess weighed on your mental state and also kind of drained your body and also provided something else that could take you out of the event rather than just the physical challenge of it, and that was primarily the water obstacles, but I'll get to that in a second. So first of all, the obstacles hanging tough, where you had to swing by gymnastic kind of hooks across water, very similar I guess to the funky monkey, except instead of monkey bars you've got these gymnastic rings. I saw heaps of people falling at that all the time, and in fact I don't even think I made it across there once. It was just one of those obstacles that requires quite a lot of, I guess, strength in your upper body obviously, but then with the gloves on you lack dexterity in your hands, and it just makes gripping them a lot harder. Following that, you had the Dangler, which was the cable that ran across the water, and you had to pull yourself across it. Again, upper body strength, that kind of thing, but it kind of cut into your, I guess, your body if you tried to go across the top of it, and if you hung underneath on a couple of the ropes, you ended up basically going in the water anyway, so it didn't make too much of a difference. So I'd say they'd certainly be up there in terms of the hardest obstacles, and again, after you've done 2 or 3 laps, it certainly starts to impact you a lot more and become a lot more difficult than if it was just at a normal Tough Mudder event where you only have to do it once and move on. Following that, the other obstacles, or the other category of obstacles, was Pirate's Booty, where you had to swim across the water section about 50 to 70 meters probably, and then climb a cargo net. Again, not a very physically, or not the most physically demanding of obstacles, but the water was very, very cold. So even on lap 1, halfway across, your feet started to go numb and your hands started to go numb. So when you reach this cargo net, your body's already feeling drained, and you kind of want to warm those parts of your body up. But first of all, you've got to climb this net, and it makes gripping the rope hard and moving a little bit slower than normal. Following that, you had a short run before you did the underwater tunnels. Essentially, you swim back across the water, but this time there was a series of 3 barrels that forced you to put your head under the water. Again, not super physically challenging or anything like that, but putting your head under the water makes it feel a hell of a lot colder than just swimming across the top. So that would be, I guess, the second category of obstacle that I found was probably, the harder ones at the world's toughest Muddr. And in fact, come like lap 4 during the middle of the night, that cargo net after you got out of Pirate's Booty was super challenging. And instead of grabbing it with your hands, I saw everyone hooking their arms through it just because they were so scared, I guess, of letting go and falling. If you did fall, it would be into fairly shallow water or on top of other people, so it wouldn't be the best of outcomes. The third obstacle that I would say was the hardest, and probably the hardest, was called Balls to the Wall. It was essentially a wooden structure with a rope that hung down. It had 2 battens that you could put your feet on, but these battens were well above knee height, the first one, probably more like waist height, so it made getting your foot up there very hard. The second one was then quite some distance higher, and the rope was quite thick, so it was hard to kind of wrap your hand around or grip properly, and during the night it got quite cold and icy as well. So for the first 3 laps, it was hard, but I certainly made it up there in the end. Come lap 4, I'm sure pretty much everyone needed a bit of a hand, and when we were actually there, they were talking about coming and setting up and putting additional battens on, because people were starting to say, look, this is just crazy, you're forcing us to climb this thing, but someone's going to fall and hurt themselves. And the thing with it as well was that instead of just kind of climbing straight up, you kind of had to stand, lean back and have your feet against the thing and walk up it. So if you did fall, there was a chance you wouldn't fall on your feet. You'd kind of fall on your back or your ass and certainly hurt yourself a lot more. Anyway, come lap 5, when I came round, they'd closed it off, and the volunteer standing by said that it just got too icy and no one was making it up with or without those extra battens. So that's just my thoughts, guys, on what I found were the 3 hardest obstacles or group of obstacles at the World's Toughest Muddr. Let us know your thoughts. What did you like? What didn't you like about the event? And as always, please rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Talk soon.